All right, guys, welcome to day 2. I was about to say week 2. Welcome to day 2 of the Amateur Battle League Season 4 draft stream. Now, today things are going to be a little bit more accelerated, okay? So basically what we're going to be doing now is every single pick will be set on a timer for 30 seconds. So basically, pick is going to come up, I'll be talking for 30 seconds, next pick is going to come up, so on and so forth. A little bit more of a traditional draft stream, if you will. So again, the first 4 picks are done for every single team. If you guys missed that, go check out yesterday's video. It should be on the ABL channel. If not, today is the day we finish this stuff up. Every single team is going to get 8 more Pokemon added to their roster today. So again, after this, every coach will be authorized to upload their draft analysis video. So tomorrow, today is Sunday, tomorrow Monday. It's up to the coaches to decide when they want to upload them. But links to all the coaches should be down in the description below. Remember, buying merch also supports the NAACP. And without any further delay, let's get this going. And again, coaches will upload their versions of the draft analysis whenever they want, starting tomorrow. So, like, comment, subscribe. The Amateur Battle League is ready to go. Let's get this thing in overdrive. Let's do it. I'm excited. You excited? Let's go. All right. So pick number 5 for the Boston Red Claws, my team, is Alakazam. Mainly, the thing I wanted to do here is mainly just speed swap. Like I said before, Magearna, Corviknight, and Incineroar were somewhat slow. But with Scolipede and Speed Boost and now Alakazam being able to use Speed Swap, I really wanted to benefit off that. And overall, this helps the team out a bit and gives me another special attacking Mon and a very good typing on Psychic, a pure Psychic type, which is also very good. New Jersey Brobats going ahead and picking up a Vikavolt. Very slow Mon here, but with that Levitate ability is really good. Doesn't have to worry about ground types. Probably just has to worry about rock types. So I see 2 rock weaknesses now with Chandelure and Vikavolt. But Vikavolt's really good. Slow, but really good. If a Trick Room Setter were to pop up somewhere, that'd be a really good Pokemon, actually. So I'm really interested to see what Vikavolt does here in this team. This team is very interesting to me. This is probably the most interesting team because I just don't know what they're going for. And the Vancouver Corviknights go ahead and pick up Charizard. So they use their free pick to pick up another Gigantamax. I think we had mentioned this before. This team is already way too scary, and you add in a Gigantamax Charizard like that, and this thing can just trap anything that's not a fire type, and not trap, but hurt anything that's not a fire type. This thing is already massive. If they were to get the Sun, that would be a quick GG. I don't think anybody's drafted Sun other than Teichichu, so there's one Pokemon left for Sun, which would be the Ninetales, unless if you get a Prankster. And Honolulu Toros picking up their Gigantamax finally in Hatterene. And like we said, this is definitely a Trick Room team. Hatterene is the definition of a Trick. You see Hatterene, you say Trick Room. But this thing is also very scary. You have the Melmetal in Trick Room, which is very physically offensive. And now Hatterene being especially offensive. Definitely is a scary team in terms of Trick Room. It may be a one-trick pony, but there's still so many other picks to choose from that they have a chance to actually make this thing work for them, really. Good pick. And then the Copenhagen Canines using their free pick to go ahead and pick up the Gyarados. Gyarados is a really good Mon. It's listed in S tier mainly because if this thing uses either Intimidate or Moxie, it's annoying. And Power Whip is such a good move on this. This thing with Dragon Dance, if you could go ahead and redirect and get this thing to set up, this thing is brutal. Or something with an Airstream as a max move, and this thing just has Moxie. Just pick up KOs and get that Moxie boost as much as possible. Again, Gyarados is a really good pick for this team. The Dashing Ditto's coming up next and going in with the Azumarill. Belly Drum Aqua Jet, anybody? Azumarill is a really good Mon. Very good bulky Mon, physically offensive Mon. Terrakion, Venusaur, Whimsicott, Torkoal, Azumarill. I guess Whimsicott can go for a Tailwind, boosting this Azumarill's viability in terms of how fast it is, because it's not fast. So I guess it gives it options if you have Tailwind up. Again, good Mon. I don't know in terms of synergy, but really good Mon. And here comes a Mon about synergy we're talking here. Gigalith coming into the Lansing Leafeons. This team is looking scary now. So they have the Excadrill and Gigalith. We were talking about that in yesterday's a part of the draft. These are 2 Mons that the Houston Team Rockets used to have, Randy HLD last season. Now they have, the Lansing Leafeons have Screens, Mewtwo, Trick Room availability and Psychic Terrain, and they also have Weather in terms of Sand and Excadrill being able to benefit from that Sand. Very menacing team. The Cuernavaca Cyndaquil is going ahead and picking up Marowak Alola. So Marowak is really good now that Poltergeist is a thing. It's always been good because of its thick club, but a Poltergeist is just raising it up to whole nother level. If this thing can do that and go for a Trick Room, amazing. It also gets Lightning Rod, so Politoed and Lapras are actually safe from electric types now. Dracovish as well, but these two are safe from electric moves. Marowak is definitely something that was on my radar personally, but it goes. And now the Herkimer Dreadnought is picking up the Sableye. Sableye was the MVP prankster last season, honestly. So I'm not surprised that the Herkimer Dreadnoughts want to pick up Sableye as a insurance that they do set up Rain Dance. In case they don't want to bring Pelipper, they could bring in the Sableye and set up that Rain Dance manually with Prankster. They could also Quash to make sure that their Mons can do whatever it is that they need to do strategy-wise. So again, Sableye is a very solid pick for an already very good Rain team. And then the Boston Grambles picking up the Arcanine, so an Intimidate Mon. Arcanine, probably one of the better fire types in this meta right now. Probably the best fire type, I'll probably say, aside from Incineroar, but I'm a bit biased on that one. Arcanine, really good. It could be special or physically offensive, and it's also decently bulky. It could take hits, and Intimidate makes it something very good. Extreme Speed and Wild Charge are two very good moves that this thing gets access to, so it's very, very fun to use. And now we get the Colossal coming in from the Minnesota Berserkers, picking up a second Gigantamax Mon. So Rillaboom and Colossal probably wanting to benefit from Sun if anybody else sets it up. Rillaboom can be weak to fire, so hard switching into Colossal might be an idea, and then going for the Gigantamax. Again, you can bring both of these Mon, but only one of them can Gigantamax in the battle, so you have two Mons, you can choose which one you want to go for. So again, that's a very good strategy from the Minnesota Berserkers, having two Gigantamax Mons here. And now the St. Hubert Castaways coming in with the wheel pick with Hitmontop. Such a good Mon. Definitely sniped me from the Hitmontop. It has access to Quick Guard, Wide Guard. This thing is an Intimidate Mon. It gets Triple Axle now, so it gets that coverage against Ghost types, hitting it, not Ghost types, but Dragon types, hitting them with the Triple Axle. I was thinking about Dragapult. So Hitmontop is a really, really good Mon, honestly, and very, very good fit for this team, not going to lie. Another, like I said, Wide Guard user to protect. It's insane. And now their wheel pick is the Porygon 2. Now, this makes the team a lot more scary. Porygon 2, as you guys know, probably, like I said last stream, the better Trick Room setter, in my opinion, compared to Dusclops. Porygon 2 can set up Trick Room and can teleport. So Snorlax definitely benefits from Porygon 2. And honestly, him on top of Mungus also benefit from Porygon 2. So very, very good, scary team already in St. Hubert's Castaways, like we said. And now the Minnesota Berserkers picking up the Golisopod. With the emergency exit, this thing is a very, very, very fun and scary to use Mon. Scary in the sense that, you get hit pretty hard and you not be able to do anything. But one very big concern here is rock types. The only two Mons that resist rock are Crocodile and Rillaboom, but everything else takes good, decent damage from it, except for Colossal, because its defenses are pretty high, or it's a physical defense. But again, definitely want to look out for those rock types. And the Boston Grambles, as we were just talking about rock types, picking up Rhyperior for their free pick. So utilizing the free pick on a more lower tier Mon than I would expect to see a free tier being picked for. But Rhyperior is really good. Weakness policy Rhyperior has always been a very big part of VGC, a very big part of doubles since Sword and Shield launched. So a Rhyperior in this team can definitely become something very menacing. If played correctly, this thing has a weakness policy. This thing's going to start hitting hard. And if it's under Trick Room, even harder. And then the Herkimer Dreadnought is picking up the Raichu. So Raichu's Lightning Rod, again, they're covering all their bases here with this Rain team. This Rain team is scary. Raichu Lightning Rod can literally absorb any electric move and go ahead and boost its special attack. So this is a very good pick. It also gets access to Fake Out and other good moves. Eerie Impulse and Nuzzle. So again, Raichu's such a very good Mon for this team. I believe we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one here in a second. But again, it's just the Rain team. And Cuernavaca Cyndaquils pick up a Raichu Alola. So I guess that was a really close and very, the Cuernavaca Cynicals and Herkimer Dreadnoughts, I love their teams because they're not exactly similar, but they're very, very similar. And Alolan Raichu here is one mon that benefits both from Electric Terrain and also benefits from Psychic Terrain. So I don't know if the Cuernavaca Cynicals probably want to draft something that can do either or, either set up Psychic Terrain or Pincurchin probably to set up Electric Terrain, because Rising Surge is definitely a powerhouse move. Lancing Leafeon's picking up Sigilif. Sigilif is a mon that I don't necessarily know a lot about. I haven't given it a bunch of use, but it is a very fast mon and it has good support moves, and it definitely is a good special attacker. So Sigilif probably for Tailwind shenanigans. Again, this team already looks so good because Mewtwo, Grimmsnarl, and then the Gigalith Excadrill and Indeedee is there just for that Psychic Terrain that also helps Mewtwo. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this team is already looking like a threat. And then we have the Dashing Dittos going ahead to pick up the Gastrodon Storm Drain. They're going to want to cover their bases here and not get hit with water-type moves. So Terrakion is protected, Torkoal is now protected, so that's really good. Also with Gastrodon, you can clear Smogmon. So if anybody is trying to set up clear Smog, as long as they're not a Steel type, definitely resets their stats. Gastrodon's also good with Earth Power. That thing is going to do massive damage to like a Colossal, for example. So Gastrodon's always been a good mon. Recover is always good on it as well for recovery. And then we have the Copenhagen Canines with the late pick here. They actually lost this pick because of the draft. They wasted their time. And now in a late pick, they go ahead and pick up Mimikyu in the A tier. Mimikyu is always annoying. The only way you're going to get away through or get through the Mimikyu is by using what's his face? Urshifu. The Rapid Strike Urshifu, and not the other one, but the Rapid Strike Urshifu for sure, or mons that hit more than once, like Skill Link mons and such things like that. Moving on, Honolulu Toros go ahead and pick up Dragalge. Dragalge is a really fun Pokemon. I really love Dragalge, and I love the fact that the team that's using Trick Room picked it, because this thing is not too fast, and it has good coverage moves, and with choice specs, this thing can be dangerous. So again, this is pretty much like a sub tier Eternatus in my mind, and I say sub tier like super sub tier compared to it, but definitely the typing for sure, and the coverage is there. Oh my goodness, so. The Vancouver Corviknights drafted the only other Sunsetter now. So this team, if it was not scary already, I just leave this. This is the only mons that they need. These are the only mons they need. They don't need anything else other than these mons on the screen right now. These 6 Pokemon can be brought every week, and I think they win a majority of their matches, if not all of them. This team is already looking disastrously hard to take down, and with the Sun now, it's not looking good at all. The New Jersey Brobats, the NJ Brobats, go ahead and pick up Surfetch'd, which is a great mon. For those of you not aware, Surfetch'd does get access to, I believe, Wide Guard. If not Wide Guard, Quick Guard. It's one of the two. I don't think it's both of them. But it does get access to Grassy Glide as well. So Grassy Glide giving it that priority. This thing has a massive 135 attack stat, I believe. It doesn't have too good of a speed, but if it goes ahead and matches up against a mon that has set up Grassy Terrain, or if that Gigantamax pick that they're trying to pick can set up Grassy Terrain, Grassy Glide is going to be amazing. And now I go ahead and scoop up Silvally for my first pick and in the wheel. And the idea here with Silvally is basically just to fill in whatever I can't fill in later. So just put in a memory on this thing and make it whatever type I need it to be. And with the even baseline stat line, I can just make it fit whatever mold I need it to fit. And that's basically what I'm going for with Silvally here. We'll be moving on to my next pick here in a second. I think I covered it pretty well there. My next pick is going to be Mian Xiao. And like I've been saying, as you guys have been noticing, quick guards, wide guards, things I really want to have access to later down the line. Fake out's always good. This thing is also a regenerator mon. So if it doesn't really take that much damage, I could always try to U-turn out and go ahead and, get it to regenerate some of its HP for longevity. I really love Mian Xiao. It's really been a mon that I've been wanting to use, and I just decided to go ahead, hey, let's just try and pick it up. So let's move on to the next mon here. Any second now. All right, so the new NJ Brobats did lose their time, and they had to pick late, and they ended up picking up Togetic. So Togetic is their late pick. This is like the great value Togekiss, except you need to use Eviolite 100% of the time for it. But again, don't underestimate Togetic. Togetic is a really good mon. Again, it's just like Togekiss, except you have to run an Eviolite on it. So very interesting to see what they would want to use. Probably redirection. So Follow Me is probably going to be big on this thing. And looking at their team, it's something you have to really think about for prepping. The Vancouver Corviknights Knights picking up a Scyther. Scyther's a really good mon. I was considering Scyther for next round personally. You could give this thing an Eviolite. It's going to be scary already. But, you know, Swords Dance dual wing beat is actually stab on Scyther, and that's a very, very good stab to have. And there's a lot of viability with Scyther. It does get, I believe, I don't know if it's wide guard or quick guard. It does get a guard. And again, Scyther is really good with X-Scissor being able to take a lot of those psychic types that are floating around, so it's going to be a really good threat. There goes Pincurchin, not to the team we had said. So the Trick Room team is going to take the electric terrain setter in Pincurchin. Pincurchin's a really good mon. Rising Voltage, it gets access to it. That's a really good move as well. So it's a shame that none of the other teams that I mean, this team benefits from Pincurchin, but I think Soy's team probably benefit a little bit better from Pincurchin because Raichu was in there. So again, Pincurchin, really good pick here. Probably a snipe, but definitely interesting. The Copenhagen Canines picking up the Hippowdon, a Sandsetter. So they got their weather right now. Hippowdon's a really good mon. You can build it in such ways to whirlwind things in and out, to yawn things, you know, be your dedicated sand setter like we just said. Necrozma takes no damage from the sand. Mimikyu does okay into sand. It's not like it's going to be super bad, but Conkeldurr with Assault Vest and the sand does even better. So very good pick there. We got Morpeko coming in to the Dashing Dittos' team. I love Morpeko. What can I say? This thing is amazing. Aura Wheel boosted speed. It changes its type every turn to Aura Wheel. What is it? Hangry mode? Yeah, Hangry mode. This thing is cute. It has Parting Shot. It has Fake Out. It has access to that pivot. So again, very, very good mon to draft here. It's going to be interesting to see how it's being used in this team. And there it is. There's the Galvantula the Lancing Leafeons always draft. Like we said, if you guys ever want to snipe the Lancing Leafeons, take the Galvantula. Galvantula is a really fast mon. It has access to Sticky Webs, which is really good for certain teams. It has access to Volt Switch, Compound Eyes, makes it to where its accuracy is even better. So again, Lancing Leafeons definitely has a good team here, believe it or not, for doubles. It's a really, really good team. I really love their team comp here. It's going to be really hard to deal against them. There we go, the Duraludon coming from the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils, a very good Gigantamax mon here. Honestly, they didn't get the Pincurchin, but Duraludon can do the same job as Pincurchin because it gets access to Thunderbolt and Thunder. You can go ahead and Dynamax or Gigantamax it, set your terrain up that way, and now Raichu can use its Surge Surfer to be faster and hit harder than before. So very good pick here. It also gives him a lot of type coverage. It gives him some good resists. Good pick. Herkimer Dreadnoughts picking up the Rhydon here. Very, very good pick here. Again, this guy gets Lightning Rod as well. And this thing also gets it's really good defenses with Eviolite. Not too fast, though. So it'll be interesting to see how they work with that. I don't think Raichu can speed swap. So Raichu can that Raichu speed swap, or is it just the Alolan? I'm not too sure if both of them can. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this Rhydon is being used here in this Rain team. So very interesting. Boston Grambles going ahead and picking up the Delmise. Again, another mon I wanted personally. With that grass and ghost typing, it's really good. With its Steelworker ability, it also gets stab on the steel type moves it uses. Anchor Shot's a very good move. I love Delmise. Delmise is a really good mon. Too bad it's super slow, but you know, its base attack more than compensates for it. So it's going to be a really good mon here. I'm really curious to see how the Boston Grambles use it. And also, if you're willing to trade, just let me know. I'll probably hit you up. The Minnesota Berserkers go ahead and pick up the Clefairy, the Friend Guard. So again, I think this is their answer to the rocks we were talking about. Having Friend Guard and Clefairy and then having something that resisted like Crocodile or Rillaboom, that would be a really good response to the weakness of rocks that they have. But other than that, very, very good pick overall here from the Minnesota Berserkers. I really, really, really dig the Clefairy pick here. Moving on over to the St. Hubert's Castaways, they go ahead and pick up Volcarona as their S-tier mon. And what can I say? This team already is so scary. You know, what are you going to do against the St. Hubert's Castaways? Because now they don't even need to Quiver Dance, right? Because if they're going to run Trick Room, they don't want to Quiver Dance. But Volcarona is already annoying as is. This thing is going to be a dangerous mon. Volcarona does good in the rain as well. It gets access to Hurricane now, I believe, or it always did. Or is that Kingdra? It's one. I might be mistaking. But anyways, they also go ahead and pick up Ditto. So again, the jack of all trades out here, being the Ditto, probably just depending on who he's facing, he probably just wants to copy whatever mon that is. The good thing about Ditto is you could scarf it. It could outspeed the mons that you just copied. The good thing is also it's like an infiltrator. You know what I mean? Like you see what set your opponent is working with once you send out the Ditto. Again, very good team. St. Hubert's Castaways has a very, very scary team here. I really would not like to battle them on week 1, 2, or 3. And now we go for the Gardevoir from the Minnesota Berserkers. Again, we're down to our final 4 picks after this. So again, very interesting stuff here with Gardevoir. Psychic Fairy. Fairy being really good. Again, I haven't seen anything in response to like the super rock weaknesses going on here, other than just the Rillaboom Crocodile. I'd be comfortable with one more Mon to deal with rock types here. I know Clefairy's Friend Guard is a good thing, but you know, Gardevoir, again, not taking anything away from Gardevoir, good pick, but definitely need something else for rocks there. And now we got Jolteon from the Boston Grambles. I think Jolteon here is probably for speed purposes. Looking at this team, it's not like the team is super slow, but definitely it seems like it's for speed purposes. Only other thing that's decently fast is Halucha, and then maybe Arcanine, Jirachi. So again, Jolteon's definitely there for speed. Also immunity to electric moves. So really good pick in Jolteon. I like it. Very good special attack. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Here's Quagsire. So the Herkimer Dreadnoughts go ahead and pick up the Quagsire. Man, this team, like just when you thought this team was done picking water types, they're like, oh, there's a good water type right there. This thing also gets access to Water Absorb. So guess what? Dracovish ain't doing nothing to this team either. So very good pick from the Herkimer Dreadnoughts. I love this water team. Honestly, this is a really good rain team, and I'm very, very curious. Now the Cuernavaca Cyndaquils pick up their own Prankster. These guys are known to be the Prankster team, but you know, having Meowstic now with the Prankster ability, it gets access to both Meowstics, don't worry. They can, in theory, I think just get Psychic Terrain, so they could set up their terrain for Raichu if they wanted it. So again, we were talking about this before. This team benefits from terrain. They already got somewhat of a weather setter with Lapras and Duraludon, or rather Lapras. But yeah, good pick for sure. Lansing Leafeon's picking up the Noivern. I'm not going to lie, I was eyeing Noivern myself. Ended up not wanting it, but Noivern is a really good pick. It has access to Tailwind as well, in case they don't want to rock with the Sigilif. Noivern does give them that Boom Burst, its spread moves. It does get some good coverage moves, like I said. Draco Meteor is a good dragon move to have. A very good solid special attacker, and very good speed stat on Noivern. Again, very good mon. I think Lansing, like, it's not that they needed the Noivern, but it's definitely a good mon regardless whether or not they drafted it. The Dashing Dittos going ahead and picking up the Berserker here. Timed out, they actually got sniped from the Ditto pick that the HPT did a while back. So Berserker coming in late is going to fill in that missed slot to the Dashing Dittos. Very good mon. If you have anything else with the Steel type move, this thing will just boost it. So again, I don't necessarily know how Berserker runs on its own, so it'll be interesting to see how she uses it. Here we have the Copenhagen Canines rocking the Umbreon. This thing is a wall. This thing has Wish. This thing gets access to Foul Play. This thing is annoying. It has access to Toxic because now you can just transfer Toxic over. So again, Umbreon is very, very good regardless of everything else. So very good pick from the Copenhagen Canines. I think this team is going to be a little bit harder to deal with than we thought at first. Now because, you know, you got Hippowdon there with the Sandstorm. You know, Conkeldurr can rock an Assault Vest. And now Umbreon. So very good picks. So now we get Speed coming in from the Honolulu Toros as a draft Weavile. This thing is a really fast mon. Usually you want to fake out with it. So I'm assuming maybe that's what they're trying to do. Does this thing get triple axle as well? I believe it does. I'm not too positive. So a stab triple axle as well is really good on Weavile. Other than that, a knockoff mon, so it can knock some things off. I don't know what else Weavile would do in this team because it's a Trick Room heavy team. The majority of the team is Trick Room. So interesting for sure. And now we have Alolan Executor coming into the to the Vancouver Corviknights. We only see its head. I don't know how Alolan Executor runs here. Probably a Harvest set. It seems like it's a harvest set because of Ninetales. Okay. I can see that work. And then also you probably want to cover all your speed tiers, so in case you do run into a Trick Room team. So I guess Alola, yeah, I guess it does work. You know, at first I was debating whether or not this would work, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense, Executor being in there, so that was a good pick. Lickitung coming in for the NJ Brobats. Licky. So I don't know. Eviolite's good. I just don't know what Lickitung does. Again, this is like more of like an ominous pick for me. I don't know what Lickitung does as is. Licky is the same as Lickitung, except you don't run Eviolite on that one, and it's probably worse because of that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this team's dynamic works, because I can't really tell right now. And then we go to my pick. I decided to go for Mudsdale here, mainly because I did not have a ground type. I wanted a ground type, and I saw a lot of electric types going, and I was like, I better pick up a ground type. And then not just that, but I have Alakazam, so I could speed swap to the Mudsdale, and then Mudsdale's already bulky enough as is. And I figured, hey, if I could have a fast Mudsdale, I'm not complaining. So that's why I picked Mudsdale. And again, you can Iron Defense or not, but boost your defense up and then Body Press. This thing's wild. Then I picked up Liepard. I needed a prankster because I need a prankster. And with everybody picking up terrain, weather, so on and so forth, I said, hey, if I pick up Liepard, this thing gets access to Rain Dance and Sunny Day. I'm going to have this thing set my weather up for me if I need it. I don't have bonds that benefit from it, but if I need it, I'll go ahead and have that. And plus, I can do shenanigans with Liepard, believe it or not. Like status lowering shenanigans. Anyways, that's why I picked Liepard. I wanted to have a decently fast mon, another dark type as well. So there it is. NJ Brobats, go ahead and pick up the Klefki. Klefki being the Steel and Fairy type with the Prankster ability. So again, Pranksters are all going out the window now. Everybody's picking up a Prankster. Everybody's trying to get their Prankster strategies out the window. And that's going to be good. It's going to be interesting for sure. And Thunder Wave's good on it. I don't remember what other moves it gets off the bat, but probably Toxic maybe. Maybe if you transfer it, Toxic. Spikes. It could get Spikes probably. Probably Stealth Rocks. So again, Prankster Klefki is going to be very interesting. Vancouver Corviknights, go ahead and pick up the Tangela. They probably didn't have enough points for Tank. No, they don't have enough points for Tangrowth. So Tangela gets access to Grassy Glide. Eviolite Tangela is very defensive as well. So good pick. Everybody's making such good picks here now. Now that you can see the teams entirely, you're like, wow. So how am I going to deal with all this? And then Tangela. Anyways, very good pick from the Vancouver Corviknights. Again, Tangela getting access to Grassy Glide, I think. All right, and as we carry on, we have the Honolulu Toros picking up the Flareon. Flareon's a really good mon. It's not necessarily too fast. So I guess it does cover some speed tiers here and there. Definitely Guts on Flareon is really like the standard way you run Flareon. I don't necessarily know how Flareon works in doubles, but it being a C tier, it isn't like the worst C tier you could pick. I just don't necessarily know how the Honolulu Toros are actually going to use Flareon in a doubles format. Moving on, Copenhagen Canines still have a B tier to pick up, and they go ahead and pick up the Serena. Queenly Majesty is a really great ability. Really great for support. This thing gets access to some good moves. Drop Kick is such a good move as well. And it's exclusive, I believe, to Serena. I don't remember anything off the top of my head that gets Drop Kick. So, again, Serena's really good. It gives it a great grass type for this team that didn't have one yet. And that closes one core there with the Cinderace, Serena, Gyarados. Great mon overall. Dashing Dittos pick up Malamar. Malamar with the contrary ability, definitely something going to be very hard to deal with. This is very, very weak to Bug, though. So, that Galvantula that, the Lancing Leafeons have. But Malamar is going to be really good. The Superpower Malamar is usually a very standard set that's being run. But it's really good and really interesting, especially when you start lowering stats with the Dynamax mons. So Malamar might be really good here in the team overall. We'll have to see how the Dashing Dittos use Malamar, but definitely a really good pick. The Lancing Leafeons going ahead using their free pick to pick up a Toxapex. Toxapex, as anybody knows, is super annoying, and the fact that the Lancing Leafeons have a few of the mons that might deal some massive damage to Toxapex is going to be very hard to deal with. Mewtwo, Excadrill, Sigilyph, all on this team, all do good damage to Toxapex, and Toxapex is now here, for the most part, somewhat okay to just stall teams out. So very, very good pick by the Lancing Leafeons. Definitely love the Toxapex pick here. I think it's a very valuable pick. The Cuernavaca Cyndaquil is going ahead and picking up Comfey. This thing has great usage of its ability triage. You could Calm Mind a few times if you can, and then after that you have free access to Synthesis with priority, Draining Kiss with priority, Giga Drain with priority. I believe it gets Dazzling Gleam, so you can hit both mons at the same time if you've Dazzling Calm Minded enough. So very good pick, very good fairy. Very, very good fairy. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Herkimer Dreadnoughts, who are picking up a Durant. That's very, very good. A very good pick, too, because in the rain, this thing gets quad hit with fire, right? But the rain lowers firepower, so if you hit, it might survive now. It might. It just might, because this thing doesn't really ever survive good fire moves or special fire moves. But, you know, Durant is a really good mon, very good speed, very good damage. And if you have Hustle, it's very, very hard hitting. But if you have Entertainment and Trant, you guys know what I'm talking about. Now the Boston Grambles go ahead and pick up the Pile of Swine. Again, probably not enough points for the Mammoth Swine. So Pile of Swine will do. Eviolite Pile of Swine is really good, really bulky. And definitely Ice Shard gives it priority moves. Earthquake is really good, or Bulldoze, I mean, or high horsepower, I believe. One of the singular hitting ground type moves. Icicle Crash, I believe. So again, Pile of Swine is really good. I like Pile of Swine here. For saving that B pick just to scout out some other mons might be pretty good. I definitely like that pick there. Vanillux coming into the Minnesota Berserkers. They're actually going to go ahead and pick up a Weather Setter with Vanillux. Was it Alolan Ninetales still open? Maybe they just want Vanillux for the, you know, the cost. So Vanillux really good. It's somewhat frail, but special attack wise, it's really good. Blizzard won't miss in the snow, so very, very good pick. Blizzard hits both mons. The only thing, another rock weakness, so we're gonna have to deal with that, and we're gonna have to deal with that quick. We got Bisharp coming into the St. Hubert's Castaways. Very good pick. It's listed in a B tier because of the doubles format. I know some people are like, well, this tier somewhere else. I'm tracking. It's A tier somewhere else. We know. This is doubles though, so Bisharp out here, kind of a one-trick pony. Swords, you know, sucker punch guy, fake out guy, you know, contrary for intimidates, or defiant for intimidate. But anyways, very good mon here, Bisharp. Don't take it for granted. It's really good. And then the wheel pick going in with the Marowak from the St. Hubert's Castaways. This thing is very good because it has Lightning Rod as well. So if you were afraid of Primarina getting hit by electric move, you know, Lightning Rod is good for good there. But you could also go ahead and use that Trick Room that Porygon was setting up. This thing can still hold a Thick Club as well, and this thing is now smacking you in the face. So Marowak is also really good. It definitely is a really good pick, and I think the St. Hubert's Castaways will have a very, very great plan for it. Definitely a very great value pick. There it is. So we have Alolan Sandslash coming into the Minnesota Berserkers, filling in somewhat of a anti-rock type because of the steel typing on this thing. But with the snow, this thing actually gets double speed, so this thing is going to be fast in the snow. Very, very good setup there. And then I guess you get grassy terrain as well for recovery. So honestly, not bad of a team. Not bad. I think this team was, I was more hyped for it as it started, and then it started dying down a bit because we need to cover rocks. But I don't know. We'll see. Boston Grambles going ahead and picking up the Drapion. This is such a good mon. This thing can do wonders with Toxic Spikes. It does wonders with Sniper. It does wonders overall with Knockoff and everything else, Cross Poison. I love Drapion. I've always loved Drapion. I've never necessarily wanted to draft for one. I feel like it's more like a mon that I'd use in playthroughs. And I know I'm not talking the competitive aspect of this, but again, on this team though, Drapion covers that poison type that you need to cover because Weezing doesn't necessarily cover everything right, and you also get that dark typing with it as well. Vaporeon coming into the Herkimer Dreadnoughts. If there's one team that I say is fun, just looking at it on paper, it's the Herkimer Dreadnoughts team. This team looks, I would like to just borrow the team one day and be like, hey, can I use your team just so I can just play? Vaporeon's really good. It gets Flip Turn. So you have pivots now with Vaporeon. It also gets Wish. So Vaporeon's always been good. A good HP stat. It's a good bulky boy. It does its job, so that's good. Cuernavaca Cynical's picking up Beartic. Now this is a Pokemon I haven't seen being picked in a while. Beartic does get Slush Rush. I don't see. I guess Lapras can no, not really. Technically set up Hail. Does Meowstic get Hail? No, I don't think Meowstic gets Hail. Anyways. Well, it'll be interesting to see what Beartic does here. I don't necessarily know what it does, but I'm pretty sure the Cuernavaca Syndicals have a plan for this Beartic. I just don't see it right now. Maybe it's just a timer that's going real fast. The Lansing Leafeon's picking up Pangoro. Very good pick. Fighting in dark, so it's like a cheap version of the single strike Urshifu. Except they can't Dynamax now. This Pangoro at least. But definitely a good mon overall. Fairies are going to be super strong against it. But I think that's why the Toxapex was drafted first, just to guarantee. And then, of course, you have Excadrill to cover that fairy weakness. So, again, Pangoro is a really good mon. I really like Pangoro. Very, very interesting. The Dashing Ditto is going ahead and picking up Lopunny, the normal type. It's really lackluster in comparison to its Mega Lopunny, but it'll be interesting to see as well what the Dashing Dittos have in store with Lopunny. I think it still gets high jump kick, so you get that for it going, or that going for it at least. So that's good. Definitely gonna be interesting to see what they do with Lopunny. I just don't necessarily know. My COVID, just don't run any items and just bring it in with COVID. There's a Copenhagen Canines rocking the Gothorita. See, I thought the Cuernavaca Syndicals would go ahead and pick up the Gothorita so they could trap and perish trap. But no, the Copenhagen Canines picking that thing up from the C tier right now. I don't think they benefit from trapping mons as much as the Cuernavaca Syndicals do. But, whenever you can trap a Pokemon, that's a good thing regardless, because you just know that mon is going to be there. As long as this thing's here, you're there, and I can do what I want to do while you're there. And, as long as I stay there, we're there. Honolulu Toro's picking up the Druddigon. Okay, Druddigon ain't that fast, so it's another, like, speed tier type thing, where you know what I'm saying? And Druddigon is a good dragon. I feel like it's underwhelming in some cases, but it's a doubles format, so it being underwhelming doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Let me just make sure that's clear. It being a doubles format means that this thing might do things that we're not used to seeing, rather than anything else. The Vancouver Corviknights picking up Palisand, giving them a immunity to electric, an immunity to ground. Not ground, I'm sorry, fighting, an immunity to normal. Palisand is a really good mon. Compaction is a unique ability that only it gets. Very good special attacker. Very slow. So again, is there anybody with Trick Room? I guess no. They don't have the Executor can get Trick Room, right? I'm pretty sure it can. I'm not too positive. It might be regular Executor, but yeah, it might be fun if they had a Trick Room. Espeon coming into the NJ Brobats. Espeon again, very good. Fast mon, synchronizes a really good move. Magic Guard, or is it Magic Bounce? I forget which one this one gets. It gets one of the two, but it's annoying, so I'm assuming it's an annoying one. It gets Recovery, it gets Wish like all the other evolutions does. It gets really good, it gets Dazzling Gleam, so it's a spread move. Psychic is really good. Screens is good as well from Espeon, so you can set up screens, and this team would definitely benefit from it. So very, very good pick there. As for us, we're picking up the Weezing. Main idea here for Weezing is neutralizing gas at a lower cost. A lower cost of neutralizing gas. Again, that's mainly it with Weezing. We could run Levitate eventually, but I don't think I'm ever going to do that. It's mainly just for neutralizing gas. And I'll just say that out for everybody to watch this video, and then I just run Levitate instead. I gotcha, guys. But again, Weezing definitely doing its job in the neutralizing gas department. Now, Golduck here is for the weather teams. I've been seeing a bunch of teams rocking weather. Golduck here is there with the Cloud9 to neutralize the effects of weather. So, Herkimer Dreadnoughts, I'm looking at you. Lansing Leafeons, I'm looking at you. Cuernavaca Syndicals, don't believe I'm looking at you too. And Copenhagen Canines, I said that. Who else is it? Lansing Leafeons? I don't know. Whoever else has weather, I'm watching you guys. Oh, Berserkers, I'm watching you guys. So again, Golduck, you're just there for Cloud9, basically. And now the NJ Brobats pick up the Sandaconda as their Gigantamax mon this late in the game because, they had the privilege, not the privilege, but they had the opportunity, not privilege. They had the opportunity to do so since they saved their pick for last. Sandaconda does do good here. It does benefit from Tyranitar's Sand. Looking at the rest of this team, Surfetch can help protect, kind of, sort of, if it's like Wide Guard or whatnot. Espeon can set up some screens. Togetic can redirect. So definitely, Sandaconda is a good pick here. And if you go Coil Sandaconda, even better. And here comes the Magneton from the Vancouver Corviknights. This thing with Eviolite is better than better than the Magnezone, I would say. This thing's special attack is still at 120, I believe. It's wild. And it does get Magnet Pull, so you could trap in Steel types. So 2 of my mons are already trapped in to this thing. Very, very good pick from the Vancouver Corviknights. And with a team as scary as theirs, if this thing traps anything, any other mon can just knock it out on the... It's just crazy. Honolulu Toro's picking up the Executor. Now, if this one doesn't get Trick Room, I'd be surprised. So again, another slow mon does get access to Trick Room. So you have 1, 2, 3 Trick Room setters, Hatterene, Dusclops, and Executor. So again, you have 3 options for Trick Room here. The speed tiers are all definitely... This is a Trick Room team, so you definitely want to run Taunt on this. I'm surprised they did not pick Alchemy. They still have a shot to pick up Alchemy so that they could guarantee that they set up Trick Room no matter what. No Taunt is going to stop you. Pick Alchemy next, please. The Copenhagen Canines pick up Arctozolt. Arctozolt being here, it does get access to Bolt Beak. So do we have Trick Room? You do have Trick Room. Do you have any sort of... You do have Tailwind with Togekiss. Does Togekiss get Tailwind? I'm not too positive about that. It might not. Follow me, though. It can follow me. So Arctozolt can get Bolt Beaks out. It doesn't have its hidden ability yet. So Arctozolt is definitely an interesting pick. It does give him a nice type. So it's not bad by any means. It's an electric type as well, so it's a very good pick. It's a standard pick, I would say, for C tier. The Dashing Ditto's going ahead and picking up the Doublade. Doublade, again, Eviolite Doublade, really good. Swords Dance, really good. Shadow Sneak, really good. Its typing, super good. So, what can I say about this thing? This is a really good pick from the Dashing Dittos. I bet they probably sniped a few teams. I was probably considering it. I'm not going to say I was or wasn't. But definitely a really good mon in Doublade. The thing is, like, just rocking Eviolite is just so predictable. But, you know, you could always just do something else. Something wild. We have the Lancing Leafeons rocking the Shiinotic. I have not seen somebody willingly draft Shiinotic yet. But it's going to be interesting. Shiinotic does get the powders. I believe it does get Spore. It's a cheaper version of Amoonguss. And it's not nearly as good. But... it'll be interesting to see how Shiinotic works. I mean, I'm guessing it's just for the Spore. I don't think it gets Rage Powder. And if it does, wow, I forgot. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And then there's Cuernavaca Cyndaquil's coming up with the Skuntank, the Poison and Dark type. This thing gets Aftermath, so when you take it out, it will do damage to you. It gets access to Flamethrower, which is interesting. I remember that because of the animation. And overall, I think this is a really good Poison type that they did not have. And they didn't have a Dark type either, so it gives them those 2 types that they didn't have. Other than that, maybe Absorb Toxic Spikes is what you're trying to do with this thing. I'm not necessarily too keen on what their idea here is with Skuntank, but definitely it's a good pick overall. The Herkimer Dreadnought is coming in with Eldegoss. I mean, it's a rain team, so I'm not expecting much out of their last few picks. Other than just maybe like some coverage mons or something to protect around. So like Eldegoss probably to switch into electric moves is my assumption here. And it does get Cotton Down, so you can boost its defense pretty well. That's the only thing I see here with Eldegoss. Maybe some Leech Seed shenanigans as well, and maybe some support moves. So Eldegoss is a good fit, believe it or not, but not. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. I would say it's a good fit. Turtonator coming into the Boston Grambles. Again, I love Turtonator. It's probably one of my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. The fact is, it's really underwhelming. So hopefully here, the Boston Grambles find a really good use for it, because every single time I've seen it being drafted, it always gets dropped. And it would be a shame if Turtonator gets dropped, but its typing is good. Its speed just lackluster, but it does get access to Shell Smash. So there's 2 bonds here with Shell Smash abilities, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. The Minnesota Berserkers pick up Type Null. This is another Eviolite mon, but this thing has good stats. So this thing it's going to be really good. It's mono normal, so you can't really change its typing. I don't necessarily know what the idea is here with Type Null other than Eviolite and just the Jack of all trades type of Pokemon. So it's going to be very interesting once it comes into play, any sort of synergy with other Mons. And, you know, it's not weak to Rock, so that's good. St. Hubert's Castaways picking Emolga. Emolga gets access to Nuzzle, Volt Switch. I believe this thing gets Tailwind, believe it or not. This small little Pikachu looking thing. Other than that, you pick Emolga if you want to lose. So they picked up Emolga. I don't know if it's going to get a lot of usage or not in their team. They might drop it for something else, might trade it down the line. I'm not too sure. Again, Nuzzle, a support mon. But speaking of support mons, here comes Morgrim, the final prankster, I believe, that we're going to see in this whole draft. And this is the last round for the St. Hubert's Castaways as well, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. You're not seeing them anymore. Morgrim, the, Grimmsnarl, but smaller with Eviolite. Prankster and screens. That's all you're going to do with Morgrim. It does get access to Fake Out. You do get, I believe, Fake Tears to lower defenses. Yeah, but Morgrim's a really good mon. I was considering picking up Morgrim in Season 3. Didn't get the chance to, and never got the chance to trade it with anybody. And now the Minnesota Berserkers picking up their final pick in their S tier, and it's going to be Rotom Wash. And it's a surprise that Rotom Wash did not go sooner, believe it or not. It's a doubles format, and no one picked Rotom Wash, something that's so common in doubles and just in Draft League overall. So very, very, very good pick for a round 12 pick. The Minnesota Berserkers really outdid themselves here. So very, very good pick with Rotom Wash. And again, there goes the rock thing I was talking about. Rotom Wash does a good job for it. Maractus will close down the Boston Grambles' team here. This thing also gets Storm Drain, so we don't have to worry about water types here that much. Maractus will go ahead and yummy, yummy. Other than that, Maractus I've never seen do super well. It does get access to Weather Ball. Looking at the team, nothing really here sets out the weather. Galarian Weezing will just prevent weather from being set. I'm trying to look and see what else I might be missing something with all of these teams, and I do apologize for that, but I don't know. We'll see how that team works out. Rapidash coming in to finish off the Herkimer Dreadnoughts. Probably here just trying to finish a core, I would say, just to try to get some coverage around because they have plenty of water types. They have a grass type in Eldegoss and now the fire type in Rapidash. Rapidash is really fast as well. So, not really, really fast, but it's decently fast as well. So, again, Rapidash is a decent pick here. It does get access to bounce. So, you can probably bounce, surf, and then, land your bounce and then just bounce again, surf, and not hit your Rapidash. Or Muddy Water, for that matter. But, really good pick. And then the Cuernavaca Cynical is picking up the Leafeon before the Lansing Leafeons can. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose. But Leafeon here is good because of Chlorophyll. So if you're battling up against a Sun team, Leafeon can get that boost from Chlorophyll. I think Meowstic gets Sunny Day, so you can just go ahead and set up the Prankster Sunny Day, get the Chlorophyll boost from Leafeon, and go for Solar Blade. Does it get Solar Blade? Or probably just Leaf Blade. That's fine. So good pick. I would say it's a good pick. It's a grass type as well, so it gives them that typing. The Lansing Leafeon is going to go ahead and end up their picks with Heatmore. Heatmore is a really, in doubles, better mon than you would expect. It gets access to Heat Wave. So while other people are just focused on other Pokemon, they'll just leave your Heatmore there. But this thing has Heat Wave. So again, Heat Wave hits both mons on the opposing side of the field. So make sure you guys don't forget that when you're battling Heatmore, as I did in Season 3, and plenty of other people did in Season 3. And this thing also gets a Lash, Whiplash, Fire Lash, or something like that. So it's a really good mon. Avalugg coming in for the Dashing Dittos, coming in as a defensive wall, basically. This thing is very, very bulky in defense, not very good in special defense, I believe, or it might be the other way around. No, it's that way. Defense, not special defense. Might be wrong. But Avalugg is definitely going to be something to close out this team. It seems like it's really good for defensive, like physically defensive battles. Not too hot on the specially defensive that I can tell right here. So it's going to be interesting to see. The Copenhagen Canines rocking off Linoon as their final pick. Extreme Speed Belly Drum, anybody? Anybody remember that? Again, I feel like this is the team that's probably going to want to make a swap for that Cinderace. Maybe just keep the Cinderace, but you don't have access to the exclusive Libero ability. So again, Linoon, definitely a good mon here. It's just going to be interesting to see how this mon is played. A lot of people probably picking C tiers that they're probably not going to use. Might be considering some trades down the line, some free agency picks. It'll be interesting to see. Honolulu Taros end up picking up another Gigantamax mon in their free pick, and their Gigantamax pick is going to be here, or their free one is going to be Machamp. So again, a mon that benefits from Trick Room, and that's actually not a bad thing with this Machamp being there. You get to boost your critical hit if you go for the G-Max version, of course. What else gets critical hits here? Not anything necessarily. Maybe Weavile. Melmetal can potentially get double Iron Bash crits. It'll be interesting to see how Machamp works here and the synergy in this team. But definitely, it's all about Trick Room for that team. And then the Vancouver Corviknights wrap up with their Lycanroc. This is the midday form. Very good mon. I love the rock type Lycanroc. Its speed is really good. Its attack is really good. It gets the exclusive Excel Rock. So again, to get the priority rock move going, swords and sets on this thing are really good. Obviously, dusk form is obviously the better one because of its ability tough claws. But, you know, at this tier, at B tier, and literally this late, that's a really good pick. The NJ Brobats are going to end up their pick with their free pick being the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn going to come in, wrap up the stuff here, and NJ Brobats. That's a really good team. It takes a fire type to take care of a Ferrothorn. That thing is annoying as always is. So again, very good pick from the NJ Brobats. I like their team a lot. It's just definitely something you got to think. What are they even trying to do when you're going to go ahead and set up and build against this team? Only thing I might be questioning is that Lickitung. And then my team wrapping things up is going to be the Trevenant. Like I said, Trevenant is here basically because I now have access to Sunny Day with the Lipard. So I can Prankster Sunny Day, have this thing rock Harvest, and I'd be game. And honestly, I'm not like saying my team's the best or anything, but I'm really comfortable with my team personally. And I can say that since I'm right here. And I have a draft analysis video coming up. You guys would probably want to check that out. But that's it. That closes the round for the draft. And like I said, guys, that is all 12 rounds of the ABL draft. It's been 2 days. Everybody's been drafting, and it's been a lot of work on my end. Now, you guys might be wondering, well, Curse, why didn't you get some of the staff members to help? Well, let me tell you guys, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. The staff is working on a lot of good stuff, and you guys are going to be excited when the season starts. But that's all the time we have for today. That's all the time we have for the weekend. Hopefully you guys tuned in for both draft streams. If you guys missed yesterday's, go check it out. If you guys missed this one when it was live, thank you for watching it after it went live. And other than that, all the coaches are going to be posting their draft analysis starting tomorrow forward. So starting tomorrow forward, so the 14th or 13th, starting the 13th of July, all the coaches will be posting their draft analysis whenever they want to. If you guys want to see their channels, links are going to be down in the description below. If you guys want to join the ABL Discord, links in the description down below. If you want to go to the ABL website, Twitter, all of our pages, links are in the description down below. So without any further delay, thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to the ABL Season 4 draft. And without any further delay, let's get this season started. Reforge your legacy, ABL Season 4. Take it easy.